Hi, MC here. Earlier today we ran a webinar with this topic, 5 marketing services to grow and reposition your accounting firm for the new Compliance 2.0 era. I just thought I'd share with you through our YouTube channel and our blog what we mean by Compliance 2.0. It is all about breaking your firm out of its box, and the box that you find yourself in as a traditional 1.0 accounting firm is the compliance box. That's not to criticize compliance as a source of revenue and a valuable thing to do for your clients, not at all. But firms do find themselves in a situation where they are boxed in terms of how their clients perceive them and in terms of what they can do. This perception also affects prospective clients in terms of what they think you as an accounting firm can actually help them with. So how do you break out of that box? And what do we mean by a 2.0 accounting firm in this new Compliance 2.0 era? Let's compare the two. In terms of the Compliance 1.0 era, which is yesterday, and most firms are still there, and today where the progressive firms are already Compliance 2.0 in their thinking and in their actions. In the past, completing compliance work used to be very labour intensive and therefore expensive, didn't it? Labour costs you. These days, aspects of it are extremely automated. There are data feeds, there are great features in software of rules where coding of transactions can be memorized in the future and done with almost artificial intelligence. So the amount of labour required for completing compliance work has dramatically reduced. That flows on to price competitiveness. In the past, there was moderate price competition, depending how you positioned your firm. These days, on the compliance end of the spectrum, it is extremely high. In fact, more and more firms are starting to use compliance services almost as what a retailer would call a loss leader, which is something you're happy to make a loss on just to acquire a client. I think it's probably more accurate to call it a no profit leader, because the margins on the basic compliance have been squeezed right out. A member of our Modern Marketing Academy recently emailed through an email that they got as a consumer from an accounting firm based in Australia, it looked like it was based in Australia, offering $39 income tax returns, so I returns. Now when you clicked the link on that email and went to their website, very credible local address, it looked like a credible firm, and I'm sure there are credible people running it, but $39 for an I return, difficult to compete in that space, and do you want to? Now, in the past, compliance was seen as a core service. It was really at the core of what you did as an accounting business. In the new Compliance 2.0 era, it can only be a starting point for higher value conversations around non-compliance advisory services. Commoditization. As you know, the only basis for deciding to buy a commodity from one supplier or another is price, because by definition a commodity is undifferentiated. Now in the past there's been low levels of commoditization, and compliance is almost seen as custom bespoke services that an accountant who really knew a client's affairs could do it. These days times have changed. More and more firms are presenting their compliance services as service level offerings that are productized, even with the prices for the different levels appearing. So consumers are starting to see it almost as an off-the-shelf purchase, which flows through to client retention, client loyalty. In the past, compliance underpinned your client relationships. Not so anymore. It is not enough to engender and nurture loyalty with your clients to do their compliance for all those reasons that we've just stated, and in particular around these last 2 points, service focus. We all know this one about the metaphor of driving along looking in the rearview mirror rather than looking out the windscreen into what's coming up. And traditional compliance is about last year, last period, we know that. And looking forward as a future-focused, value-adding accountant, you're looking at next year, next quarter, next month, and helping your clients achieve their numbers. So huge mistakes that's been made over the last couple of decades that I've observed. In advice from consultants and coaches, to the accounting profession is trying to turn accountants into something that they're not. You're accountants, you're great with numbers, you're analytical, you're very intelligent. If you're a senior member of a firm or within your own firm, you're also good with clients. And those skills around being highly analytical and good at explaining it are valuable skills. But our advice is don't go too far from home around your core competency. Focus on management accounting advice. You've already got those skills. You learnt those skills at university. You probably haven't used them too much. You know why? Because by their very definition, non-compliance services must be sold. The government is not making your clients do them, are they? So you've got to learn how to sell them. You've got to learn how to communicate the value, and that's what we specialise at Paradox, teaching firms how to do that. And lastly, look at the knowledge and therefore the power that consumers have in their hands these days. In the past, they had very low amount of knowledge in terms of choosing an accountant. I'm really showing my age now. Whereas apart from asking friends and colleagues, it might be a look in the yellow pages. These days, there's online search, there's social search. Progressive Compliance 2.0 era firms are very active and effective in their use of social media. So it's really easy now. And the perception is it's far easier to switch accounting firms than it ever has been in the past. So to break your firm out of its box, think about these three things. You need to look great. You need to make fantastic first impressions. Whether we're talking online on your website, with your social media accounts, have you customized and branded them with your own images and logos and colors? And by the way, we can show you or do that for you. You've got to make good first impressions. You can't sell advisory services in a cheap suit, so to speak. You've got to look quality, and not just good quality, but relatable to your target market. Then you've got to sound great. You can't just look great. There's an old saying that a client of ours way back who used to be a high-end retailer in menswear, there was a quote about good grooming won't get you to the boardroom, but poor grooming might keep you out, which is the first point. You've got to look good. But once you're there, you've got to sound great. You've got to have a good message and be articulate. So that's all about your marketing content. What articles are you putting on your website, on your blog, in your e-newsletter, linking to in your social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, depending on your target market, YouTube, use of video and screencasts, all things that we help firms with. So you look good, you've got to sound good, you've got to have a great message. And lastly, you've got to be great. Marketing is all about making promises and shifting perceptions. Ultimately, you do have to deliver. So we can help you with looking great. We can also help you with sounding great. But being great is up to you. If you're in a position where you think you deliver good quality services already, you have a good team in place, fantastic, we can help you. If you don't, we actually refer firms onto general practice management coaches who'll go across a whole range of different topics about building your team. They'll go sort of to a certain level on marketing and selling, nowhere near the mile deep focus that we will. And they'll talk about aspects of IT, and that's all important. Get your house in order. But once your house is in order and you're confident that you can deliver on your promises, we can help you break out of that compliance box and really reposition how your firm is perceived by your clients and in the marketplace. So if you want to find out more, just drop us a line. Come to our website, practiceparadox.com.au, and while you're here on our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button there, and that will ensure that whenever we upload new videos, you'll be notified of them. So thanks for watching today. Look forward to talking to you some more and really helping you build a remarkable, standout firm that really is fully present in the Compliance 2.0 era.